Game 7, NBA Finals, tied up at the free throw line after the and one three-pointer. Here we go. For the Detroit Pistons championship. No. Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty damn ticked off today when it comes to Ben Simmons. I have been pro Ben Simmons since he's essentially entered the damn NBA. I've always realized with him that when it comes down to it, you could be an extremely talented player without needing to really score the basketball. There's plenty of guys out there in history, you know, that made a living damn being the assist man or the defensive man or whatever. And Ben Simmons, he's got the skills. But I will say, when it comes down to Ben Simmons now in the playoffs and against the Atlanta Hawks, bro, I've never been so just like, I've never got such like a douchebag vibe. When I look at Ben Simmons, I look at the dudes at the YMCA that are afraid to drive to the basket because they don't want to get blocked, man. It's like you could drive to the basket, you might get blocked every now and then, but they don't because they, you know, it's like, oh, this is bad for my ego, man. That's embarrassing, right? And that's Ben Simmons offensively. So many things that he could at least attempt to do, he just refuses. Because when it comes down to, he's like, oh, if I make a three-pointer, everybody's going to make a meme out of it and laugh at me, so I'm just not going to shoot him at all. And I recognize, man, that that might not be one of the strengths of your game. But damn, for the betterment of the team, just shoot a bitch-ass three. Or make a damn free throw. I don't even know, man. I mean, okay, the three-point shot, it doesn't bother me as much. Not everybody's a great three-point shooter. You know, it comes down to it. We all laugh at Russell Westbrook for taking too many damn threes, right? We get mad at that. So, you know, I get that. But the fact of the matter, man, okay? Now, I ain't gonna lie. I was at my nephew's birthday party, so I didn't get to really watch, you know, a lot of the games this week. But straight up, man, is this true? Can you guys confirm this stat for me? Is it true, in fact, that Ben Simmons shot 3 times in the fourth quarter in the course of a 7-game series? Now, he made all the damn shots from I would have said damn 100%, bro. Is this true? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. And I'm not changing my stance that Ben Simmons needs to be some 20 to 25 point per game scorer, man. I still don't think that's his game. I think if he tries to be that, it's going to take away from everything. But just the hesitance that he has, I don't think he's fully built, man. I think he's got to go somewhere else. I think he's got to go to a different team where he can be, you know, a solidified third option offensively. Or he's got to go to a damn team, you know, like a rebuild team like the Houston Rockets or the Cleveland Cavaliers, where he can go out there and just find any little bit of confidence. Because Philly's not it no more, man. Now, for a few seasons, I've really defended saying, you know, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, that could definitely work. That could work. But each season, Ben Simmons is giving me more reasons not to believe it. I don't even know, man. It's absolutely atrocious. Rarely in the NBA do we see, you know, an offensively gifted center like Joel Embiid who can literally do everything out there. And then you got a point guard that can just not provide anything offensively, you know, outside the playmaking. Let's recognize, man, his playmaking is still top tier. But I mean, like, you rarely see that. And it just takes so much away from the center. Because I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, what if the 76ers had like a CP3 or like a Kyle Lowry or somebody like that could take some sort of pressure off of the other guys offensively on the Philadelphia 76ers. And we just don't really see him, man. So, you know, we're going to do this video today. We're going to talk about some trades over at my Twitter account at ChrisFlakes2K. I asked you guys some trade packages. We're going to talk about your guys' trade packages. I'm going to give you guys a few teams that I like the idea of. But when it comes down to it, man, I still think Ben Simmons, extremely, extremely gifted player. I still think he has so much to offer a franchise. And, you know, a lot of people think his trade value is pretty low right now. I would say, statistically, yes, his trade value is probably at an all-time low, but I don't think it's as low as people think it is. Like, Ben Simmons, I still think has a lot to offer, man. I really do. Just not on the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't even know if he should really be playing point guard anymore. But then I think about it, too, and it's so hard to think of a team to trade with. Because, for one, it's going to take some assets to get him. Like, you ain't going to get him for free, you know what I'm saying? But also, you know, when it comes down to Ben Simmons, too, I mean, when the ball is in his hands and he's making plays, you know, using his quickness, his elusiveness out there, man, you know, his 6'10"-ness, his height, I guess I should say, right? That's when he's valuable. Due to his lack of shooting, I don't really know if there's like a case where you could be like, well, maybe Ben Simmons should play like the power forward spot or something. Now, I guess the closest case we could get to maybe Ben Simmons working at a different position, I think you got to look at somebody like a Draymond Green. I mean, Draymond Green is not known for his offense, and he still gets it done, you know, defensively and playmaking wise and everything. But then that's, Draymond Green's like a third or fourth option, right? He's more probably like a fourth option on the Golden State Warriors when everybody's healthy. So is that really what we're looking at Ben Simmons now to have like championship success? Does he need to go down to like that jack of all trades, glue type of guy? Is that how we get the most out of Ben Simmons? Because looking at, it's just so weird, man. It's so weird. So let's get to it, guys. Let's talk about some trades. I ranked it for about 5 minutes now. I was just, I came into this video, man, extremely heated. I'm just like, man, I've been defending this guy for so dang long, and here we're at. It's getting worse every single season, and I know Philly fans are sick of it, man. Like, and we pointed Ben Simmons. I'm not letting Doc Rivers off the hook either. Like, Doc Rivers has been a horrible coach when it comes to the playoff victories and stuff, man. He's been horrible, guys. He's been a bad coach, bad at adjustments. I hate coaches that get so stuck in their ways, because you think about anything in life, man, any sort of business, any sort of job you have, there's times of that job where you got to go off book. You got to go and think of something else, man, because what you're doing might not be working, right? It's like you got to be able to make adjustments. And all right, that's enough ranting about that, guys. Let's talk about some trades. Okay, so first, let me talk about this. What exactly should be the Philadelphia 76ers, like, short, low-key type of plan this offseason? I think when it comes down to a Ben Simmons trade, if they decide to trade him, I'm not even going to guarantee it's going to happen. I think it's probably going to happen, but they're in a pretty good circumstance where they could actually trade Ben Simmons for multiple positions, because the point guard position, there's so many just like solid point guards in this free agent class. I think there's Kyle Lowry. Although your sign trade things can happen, you got Kyle Lowry, Goran Dragic, Mike Conley, probably some other point guards I'm not thinking of. That would instantly make this Philadelphia 76ers team a lot better just from the point guard spot. Offensively, now obviously none of those guys are good defensively as Ben Simmons is, but you could trade Ben Simmons away and try to improve the other positions while still maintaining a pretty damn solid point guard, right? So that's kind of what I would do. I don't think it needs to be like a straight up swap where you get Ben Simmons for another point guard. I don't think that needs to happen. Now, if the trade's right, you do that. If you feel like that point guard can make you a lot better. But we're going to talk about some different trades up here, man, that you guys were talking about over at my Twitter account, at CrispyFlakes2K. Starting with Holden Walls. So Holden Walls trade I thought was a little interesting. It is a point guard for point guard swap. It's D'Angelo Russell for Ben Simmons. So the reason I actually like this for both sides is for one, D'Angelo Russell is very offensively gifted. Can get to the basket, can make his three-point shots, can still make plays for others. So that would just work, nicely contrasting against Joel Embiid. I just feel like that'd be a nice little 1-2 punch. And yeah, I like the idea of D'Lo on the 76ers. I don't think it's I don't think it's a bad fit whatsoever. But what I really like is actually Ben Simmons over on Minnesota, because I still feel like, Ben Simmons could be that primary ball handler. You could even put him at the power forward position. But they also have so many guards on that team right now, as is, with having, Anthony Edwards, having Malik Beasley, Jarrett Culver doesn't really get a lot of PT, but he should, Josh Okogie, guys like that, man. So I still think it's a case where, Ben Simmons can be listed at power forward or point guard. You can get some of those other guards out there, but you're not really losing too much playmaking wise, and you got the defensive mindset and everything of Ben Simmons that's going to work nicely alongside Cat. So I thought that was a decent fit. Wasn't the craziest trade I saw, but I was like, yeah, man, like, I could really see Ben Simmons just being nice alongside Cat. I definitely don't, mind that idea. The next trade we actually have a 3-team trade. And keep in mind, as we go through this one, man, this is from a Dallas Mavericks fan. His Twitter was Luka X Dak, which I believe is Dak Prescott, which I believe is a golfer in Dallas. Now he's a quarterback, man. But okay, so his trade was the 76ers against CJ McCollum. Heard that a lot on the Twitter. Jalen Brunson and 2 protected first-round picks. The Trailblazers getting Kristaps Porzingis and Ben Simmons, and then the Mavericks getting Nurkic, Norman Powell, and Tyrese Maxey. So let's look at this from all 3 teams' standpoints. You got the 76ers getting CJ McCollum, Jalen Brunson. Instantly, that's your backcourt. And then obviously, you probably want to re-sign Seth Curry because he was an absolute beast. I guess that's the only case where I can see maybe you don't want to get a guy like CJ because like Seth Curry has been already really nice for the squad. But, use Seth as a 6-man getting 30 minutes a game. You'll be completely fine. You can even do a 3-guard lineup at times if you really absolutely need to. And then Jalen Brunson is just like a good, smart point guard. He just knows how to play basketball. Very intelligent player. So that could work nicely at the point guard spot. Then obviously draft picks are always a good bonus too. And then the Trailblazers, they're getting Ben Simmons and Kristaps Porzingis. So I ain't gonna lie, I don't mind Kristaps on the Trailblazers. I think that could definitely work. I don't know if Ben Simmons makes a lot of sense. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about, Ben Simmons and Damian Lillard, team those guys up. And I just don't really know how that makes sense. I mean, because it's going to be the same case where if you have the ball in Ben Simmons' hands, it means it's not in Damian Lillard's hands. Is that best for the team? I don't really know. And then, if the ball's in Damian Lillard's hands, it's like, well, how exactly is Ben Simmons going to help the team out, right? He can't really space out the floor or anything. So I guess really the best way you could kind of maybe do things with him is maybe like some pick and roll action with his playmaking. That could be a little interesting. Like, obviously, Damian could play off ball with his elite shooting and stuff. So that's the only way I can see that working. But you really get a lot of height there, a lot of defense too with Kristaps and Ben Simmons. So that could be a little interesting. If the Portland Trailblazers find themselves like limited in free agency or the trades, it's like, well, this is interesting. Ben Simmons, Kristaps are two still like big names in the NBA. So as far as getting Damian Lillard more help, or at least different type of help, I guess not really a bad idea. And then, the Mavericks again, Nurkic, Norman Powell, and Tyrese Maxey, those are all really good young players that, just give a lot of really solid depth over to the Dallas Mavericks. I think is the best way to put it. All right, the next trade we have is from Celestial Will, who says Ben Simmons plus picks for Bradley Beal. This one's pretty straightforward. We were actually talking about this one last year. Obviously, Bradley Beal on the 76ers would be absolutely amazing with his scoring and being able to space the floor for Joel Embiid. But once again, Ben Simmons next to Russell Westbrook just sounds like just the worst 1-2 punch in the entire NBA, man. I don't know. Now, obviously, they get some picks out of it. That's not bad, but that Philly team's not going to be bad where those picks are going to be good picks anyways. So this one I was a little hesitant about, especially Ben Simmons with Russell Westbrook. Yikes, that's... efficiency-wise, analytically speaking, not very good. And then we had a lot of people, there was too many to list, saying Ben Simmons from Malcolm Brogdon. Pacers might be looking to go in a different direction. So, I like Malcolm Brogdon's game a lot. He would fit instantly on the 76ers as far as being like a combo guard that can play with multiple guys out there. Ben Simmons on the Pacers, though, I would need to see what the rest of that team does. I would need to see what other type of moves they make, in free agency and stuff before I would actually approve that trade. And then here are two teams that I think would be kind of interesting. I don't really have any big time official trades, written up for it, but I would actually really like to see Ben Simmons on the Boston Celtics if there was any way to get him without trading away Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. The reason I like that is because he brings the defense and he brings the playmaking, he brings the ability to go on the break to that Boston Celtics team, and that was kind of one of the knockoffs with Kemba Walker, was that Kemba was just too similarly scoring-wise to some of the other dudes on the team, where it's we don't really need the scoring at this point guard spot. We just need a guy that can make plays for others. So that could be really interesting. I don't know if a trade's really there to get it done, but I liked the idea of it. And then obviously the Warriors would be interesting too, man. Some sort of Wiggins or Draymond Green, maybe a pick, Jordan Poole, whatever needs to happen. Just because, Draymond is getting up there in age, let's be honest. And we don't really know what Klay Thompson's going to be defensively coming back. So Ben Simmons, instantly kind of makes that Draymond position a bit younger, but still brings a lot of the same things that Draymond brought to this Warriors team. So obviously having him out there with two of the greatest shooters of all time, and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson would be very interesting to watch, man. So that's all we got for the video. Sorry for the rage in the beginning, guys, but like I said, man, I've been really pro Ben Simmons. I want to see him be successful. He just... man, I look at some of my favorite basketball teams in the past. I look at guys like Big Ben Wallace, who were always just people didn't realize how good they were, or a guy like Ben Wallace was without watching him, because a lot of things he did not show up on the scoreboard. I feel like Ben Simmons is the same way, but just being so afraid of your own ego and damaging your ego or whatever because you're afraid to take certain shots, it just doesn't sit well with me, man. So that's all we got for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.